In our previous session, we have already completed this, right? We have different items. When we click on add to favorite, those are added to the favorites like this. So we have 8 items in favorites and 2 items in cart, right? Clicking on favorites will redirect to favorite screen, and clicking on cart will redirect to cart screen. Okay, we have already done this. So what we will do today, we will restructure this because we are using our state in app file, and all other components are created within app, which is not the process what generally developers follow in production environment, right? So first we understood how to use stack navigation, then gradually we will revise our code, we will restructure our code to be make it production ready. Okay, so let's do that. But if you don't have the code of earlier session, then don't worry. In React Native master document, it is added. You can simply copy from here, okay, and then paste it in your VS Code. Create a simple Expo app and then paste it here. Okay. Now, after that, we will do something like this. We will create a structure like this. App.js will be our root folder. In src folder, not in root. Okay, this project root means it is src folder. In our previous video, we have already discussed that, right? How to create src folder in expo app instead of app folder. Then we will create a screens folder, and within that we will put all our 3 screens: home, cart, and favorite. Okay, so without any delay, let's get started. This is our original file. We wrote everything here within the src folder, app.js. Okay, now within this src, we will create another screens folder where we will create all our screens. So home screen, then cart screen, and then our favorite screen. Okay, so if we move these screens from app file to somewhere else, then we have to pass the favorite items and cart items to that specific screen, right? So that also we will learn how to pass those items. Okay, as I told you earlier, every concept we will learn through the use cases that industry uses. Okay, not random things. This is our app.js. Okay, then let us move these sample products to our home screen. But before that, let me move this complete home screen. Okay, from here, I will move it to this new screen. Now, how I will use this screen in app? If I moved it to a different folder, then I have to export it from here, right? So export default home screen. Okay, I exported from here, then I will import it in my app file. So import home screen from screens/home screen. Okay, then I will do same thing for favorite. First we will move all our screens, then we will fix the errors. So favorite screen, Name is little bit different. That's fine. Okay, I will import this as well. Then I will move my card screen. And import this as well. Okay. But now, before fixing anything else, let's first fix this one. We have three different screens: cart, favorite, and home, and we wrote three different lines. Whereas all the screens we are importing from our screens folder. So, how to fix this issue? Let us create another file here called index.js. Okay, and we will import all our screens to here. Okay, then export from here: home screen, cart screen, and favorite screen. Then all three we will import here in our app.js. And now these are not default exports, these are named exports now. So we have to import within curly brace. Okay. And here we will write only screens, because as the name of file is index.js, so you can mention like this from index, or you can write simply /screens. Okay, so now it will import these three from screens. Let us go to index.js. Either you can write like this, or there is another way to do this: export default as cart screen from carts. Okay, you can do like this as well. Simply one single line for both export and import. Default as favorite screen from favorite screen, and export default as home screen Okay, so instead of 4 different lines, now we concluded only in 3 lines. Got it? Now let's come here. This sample products, this should be in our home screen, right? So instead of directly returning a JSX here, we will wrap it in curly brace. Okay, and use a return statement. When you are returning something directly in an arrow function, you don't need curly braces, right? But here we used curly braces and a separate return statement because we want to do something in our function body. And what is that? First, we will describe the sample products. Okay. Then this navigation, it is fine. We are getting it as a prop. Okay. Then let's go to the styles. We need these styles here, right? Styles are in our main file. So Let us export this from here. Okay, or you can put it in a separate file as well. Let's do that. So here I will create another file called styles.js, where I will put my styles, and here this style sheet we will import from React Native. Okay, now in our app component, let us import styles. Okay, and we don't need style sheet here. Then this same thing we will use in our home screen. Import styles. Okay, and we need to import these other things as well: scroll view, touchable opacity, text, right? So let us import scroll view, and always import from React Native. Okay, view, text, and touchable opacity. You can use pressable instead of touchable opacity. That has some better options, but it is very easy to use touchable opacity because it has that inbuilt press animation. When you press the button, its opacity becomes 0.5, and when you release the press, it becomes 1 again, right? Okay, so I think everything is fine now. Sample products.map. Okay, let's see from the start. Scroll view, style, view, touchable opacity, navigation, text, sample products, everything is here, right? Now it looks good. So let's see, is there any issue in our app now, or is it running fine? Okay, so home screen don't have any issue now, but favorite property, favorite don't exist, right? Okay, and favorites dot length, yes, it is here. So this favorites and cart, these two don't exist, right? And what are these? These are the state from the app component, right? So this state we have to use in our home screen. So how we will do that? Now, earlier we were writing our stack screens like this, right? Name, component, and options. Now we will remove this from here. Okay, and wrap it. Okay, and here we will use our home screen, or let us start it from simple, then I will make it complicated. So we have earlier like this, right? Sorry, not options, it is component. Okay, it was like this, but we have errors because this favorites does not exist, right? So here what we will do, instead of directly passing the component name, we will use a callback function which will return this home screen. Okay, why we are following this approach? Because we can pass props to our home screen. And what are the props? The props are cart. Okay, the parameters, cart, favorites, then set cart, and set favorites. Okay. So now we have home screen and we are passing cart, favorites, set cart and set favorites. The state from app to our home screen. Okay. But we passed it from here. Similarly, we have to receive it in our home screen. So with the navigation, we will receive those as well. Cart, favorites, set cart and set favorites. Okay. Now our home screen looks good without any error till now. Let's add to favorites. Is it working? So we will click on add to favorites, add to favorite. Yes, it is working, right? Similarly, add to cart, add to cart. Yes, it is working now. Now, when we click on go to favorite, okay, cannot read property navigate off undefined. So here we have navigation, okay, but it is saying it is undefined. Why? If you come here, okay, now this home screen has only 4 props: cart, favorite, set cart and set favorites. Okay, the default navigation prop we already overridden. We overridden that one, so that prop don't exist. Okay, so the default props should be there, right? So we will do it like this. Okay, so it will assess all the default props and will restructure and add it here. Okay, now let's click on go to favorites. It is redirecting to the favorites now. Okay, and go to cards will redirect to card screen, but we have to fix errors from those screens. Now go to our favorites and card screen and let's try to move errors from there. So here the same thing. First we will import this scroll view from React Native. Okay, then text, then touchable opacity, and what else? And view. Okay, now click on, okay, let's fix it from favorites as well. Import scroll view from React Native, text, view, touchable opacity. Okay, now go to favorite. Property styles does not exist, so let us import styles. For card screen as well. Okay, now let us click on go to favorites. Favorites does not exist, right? So these favorites we have to pass from our home screen to that one, or we can pass in the similar manner. Okay, in this way, like we passed to our home, but we will not do that because we want to pass it as a prop from our home screen, whatever we have selected, and will use there. Okay, so let's modify that. And for now, where is our favorite? Yes, so card.length and okay, for now let us do one thing. We will wrap it in curly braces. Okay, and we'll return this JSX, and here we will use cart for now. Okay, later on we will receive this cart from home screen. So go to cart, cart is working fine now, right? Now come to favorite, we will do same thing, wrap it in Calibras. If you want, you can pass your offset here, okay? But we want to see both the things, how to pass props from one screen to another, okay? That we passed a state from off screen to home screen. Now we will pass props from home screen to our cart and favorite screen. Okay, the objects we will not pass state here, right? So this is our favorite equal an empty array. Okay. So now we have home screen. We can go to favorites. We can go to cart. But the data is not updating. Even if you have data in favorites, when you go to favorite, it will not display here, right? So now let's go to home screen. When we are navigate to favorite, what we are writing? Navigation dot navigate favorites, right? Here we will put a comma and pass our favorites. Similarly to cart, we will put a comma and pass our cart. Okay. Now we passed the favorites and the cart to that screen, that specific screen. But how we will receive that? So come to cart screen. Here with navigation, there is another default prop that is called routes. Okay. So this we will use to get the parameters that passed from other screen. So how we will do that? Here, instead of using this, we will write route dot params, okay, or empty string. Okay. So route dot params have only cart. Sorry, route dot params dot cart. Okay, because it has only cart now. If that is either undefined, okay, if you are not passing anything, then that is undefined, right? So in that case, it will give us an empty array. Okay. Whenever you are writing a production level code, always handle undefined and nulls properly. Now let's check for cart only. Add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. Okay, go to cart. It has 3 items now: soap, toothpaste, and face wash. Okay. Now the same thing we will do for favorite. So here we will assess our route as well with navigation, and here we will write favorites equal route dot params dot favorites. Okay, and if favorites is null or undefined, then it will update with an empty array. Now let's go back, and we have already items in favorites, right? Let us go to favorites. Now it is displaying 2 items, shampoo and toothpaste. Let us add one more, hand sanitizer. Okay, hand sanitizer is also added here. But still there are some issues that we will discuss after some time. For now, what we did, if you see here, we created a separate screen folder to keep all our screens, and then to write better readable code, and import all the screens in a single line instead of 3 different lines, we added one index.js file here. Okay. Then in our app, we have only the state now, which we will replace with global state in upcoming sessions, and the navigation container. Okay. Then we passed our state to the home screen with whatever props it has. Okay. And from home screen, the selected cart items and selected favorite items we are passing as a parameter, okay, as a prop, anything you can say. And that parameter or prop in the cart screen and favorite screen, we can access in this way: route.parameters.cart. Okay, this navigation and route, these two we are not passing here, but these are default props. When you are using within navigation container, okay, we are using these two, right? So these two by default gives these screens these two props, navigation and route. Navigation helps him to navigate to a different screen, and this route helps to get the props passed from one screen to another. Okay, but this cart can be undefined, right, if it is not passed properly. So if it is undefined or null, then we are handling here with an empty string, an empty array. So if it is null or undefined, then empty array will be passed, so our application will not break. Okay, but as I told you, intentionally we did some errors here. What is that? If you see, we have go to home and go to cart and favorites, as well as we have go to favorites and go to home in cart. Okay, now look at here, we are at home screen, so we don't have any back screen now. If we still press hardware back button on Android device, then the app will close. Okay, but if we go to any other screen, now in our stack there are two screens, home screen and favorite screen on top of that. Okay, so we have a back button here, and we can press the hardware back button also in Android device. Okay, but in home screen we don't have back button because it is the below most, the last layer. Okay, the 0th layer you can say. Now if we click home here, go to home, it is going to home screen, but we have a back button here. Why? Home screen, then we went to favorite screen. Okay, then from favorite again we went to home. So now we have three layers: home, favorite and home. Okay, three different layers. That's why we have a back button. Okay, let us go to cart here. Now we have four layers: home, favorite, home, cart. Four layers, right? So if we press back, okay, the topmost screen, cart screen, is popped out. So we have home, then favorite, then home. Then press back again, we have home and favorite. Press back again, we have home now. Okay, so this is one type of logical error, right? We properly not navigated, this navigation we have not properly handled. Okay, that's why we have this error. So this we will cover, and after this, how to safely navigate to different screens and how to handle this type of behavior. When we are on favorite, okay, home, then favorite, again we want to come back to home screen, so we have to pop this screen, right, instead of pushing another screen on top of that. So when we click on home, it should replace the top screen with home screen. Okay, that should be our behavior. Similarly, when we are going to cart, okay, home screen, favorite screen, then we want to go to cart, so this favorite screen should be replaced with cart screen, so that pressing back button on card should go to home screen directly, but now it will go to favorite screen. Okay, then again pressing back will go to home screen. But this is an awkward behavior, right? So that we will fix in our SAP navigation. We will do three different types of things. Normal navigation like this, then a replace, which will replace only the current screen with a new screen, then a reset where all the screens will be replaced with a single screen. Okay, thank you.